Okay, this sucks. And it sucks that I have to make this video. Um, I want to say, we're just gonna get right into it. I want to say about 2 or 3 weeks ago, my youngest dog, Jagger, he, he passed away. And unfortunately, I had to find him in that position, and he was just laid up against the cage, mouth open, and he had a different color to him. He he looked soulless, to say the least. He looked, I know it's weird to say this now, but he looked dead. It's because, well, obviously it's because he was. But I don't think, I never thought that I would have to find my dogs in that position. Ever. I came home from school, because my cousin takes me home, right? So I came home from school, and she had given me the keys to my house, because obviously, since she takes me home, she has a key to my house. She had given me the key to the house, told me to go take it back to her whenever I unlocked the door, right? And we have a dog cage that sits outside. Um, um, so we have a dog cage that sits outside. And about halfway up the walkway that we have, uh, I saw what looked like Jagger just sitting there laying down. Um, I saw his mouth open as well, so I was like, maybe he's just chewing on the cage. Because he looks dead, but I'm gonna be optimistic here and say that he's just chewing on the cage. Um, I went to go down, I went to unlock the door first, then go down and tell my cousin that Jagger looks dead. And she's like, okay, go back up there and see if he actually is. And I'm like, okay. I said it half jokingly too. I was like, hey, Jagger looks dead. So I went to go up there and get a closer look. And sure enough, there he was. All the color completely gone from his body. Eyes open. The thing that sucks is that his eyes were always so full of life and stuff, but they just looked dark. They just looked completely dark. No life whatsoever in his eyes, and the worst part about it is, when I went to go look up at him, he wasn't staring back at me. He was just looking. And my other dog, Daisy, she was in that cage as well. But she was okay. She looked fine. She'd just been mourning the loss. Because she knew what happened. She knew what happened. She's a very smart poodle. Um, she knew what happened and was just sitting in the corner of the cage grieving. Um, it's funny because you don't think dogs really have emotions like that. Like you'd never thought. And then later that night, I figured out that dogs can actually grieve themselves to death. Um, the grief can force them to not eat as much or drink as much, causing them to starve themselves. My dad had informed me of this, so I was like, oh my god, I hope Daisy doesn't die either. The next day I came home from school. It looked like Daisy was doing, well, I wouldn't say okay, but it looked like she was still mourning the loss. So, later that night, my dad had come into my room. He was like, "Hey, bub, how you doing?" And I was like, I don't know. Because I took the loss so hard. I was like, I don't know. So, he came in my room and was like, so Daisy isn't doing so well right now. Um, he said that she was foaming at the mouth and she could hardly move, like she was wobbling. And I almost broke down and cried right there. I did. Um, she was like, he was like, do you want to come out there and see her? And I was like, okay, okay, yeah, yeah. And so, okay, so I walked outside, and she was breathing very heavily. Um, she was shivering and trying to keep herself from either passing away or falling asleep. Because she would go down and then startle right back up. And, Dad was like, okay, let's go back inside. And I was like, well, don't we need to bring her inside? He's just like, no, I think it's better if we just leave her out here for right now, because she smells horrible. And I'm like, oh shit, that's the scent of death. So it was clear that she was gonna die that night. And, I went back to my room and just cried. Because not only did I have to lose Jagger, but I have to lose Daisy back to back, day after day. But Dad was like, don't get discouraged. Everything's gonna be okay. He's gonna be fine. So I was like, she's gonna be fine. I was like, okay. I will try to be optimistic. So I tried my hardest. I really did. And I had woken up, didn't even get out of bed. Dad pulled me over and was like, Dad woke me up and was like, hey, Daisy died last night. And I I broke down and cried right there. He said that Daisy died that night, and it fucked me up. It fucked me up so bad. Mind you, both of these days, I was going to school. Like, I was still trying to hold it together while being at school. I was trying to hold my shit together while at school. And then a week later, not even a week later, 3 days later, after Daisy had passed, Dad was like, hey, do you want to go to the pet store and maybe look at some dogs? And if you don't see any that you maybe would like, then we won't get one. But I'm giving you the option to maybe look for one today. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay. What else do I have to lose, right? Because I had already lost so much those last couple days. So we went to the pet store and we found a cute Pomeranian that we ended up taking home. He was 2 months old and his name was Ranger. So I was like, aw, this is our perfect dog. This is the dog for us. Because he would always just lay in your lap. He was the cutest. He was the cutest motherfucker ever. He would lay in your lap. For some reason, he always liked my shoulder. He loved my right shoulder. Because, like, that was his place of resting. My right shoulder was his place of resting. Specifically, my right shoulder. He loved whatever it was about my right shoulder. Because every time I would pull him off my right shoulder and put him on my chest, he would crawl back up to my right shoulder and just lay there. And he also had separation anxiety as well, which I found adorable. But anyway, back to what I was gonna say. I had went to school. We had him for like 2 days. Okay. So on the second day, I had went to school, and I was like, you know, and then all of a sudden, my dad started calling me at school, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? My dad started calling me after school while I was waiting for all the buses to leave and stuff, because my cousin takes me home, and my cousin works there, and they usually wait for all the buses to leave. Well, my dad was calling me, and I was like, what the fuck? Was my dad FaceTiming me? Because he never does that. He never FaceTimes me. So I was like, why is he FaceTiming me? And he was like, hey, so I'm taking Ranger to the vet right now. And I'm like, what the fuck? Is he okay? But I didn't say what the fuck, because if I said anything like that, my dad would beat my ass. But I was like, is he okay? And he goes, well, I don't know. There is some black sludge, like black watery stool dripping from, you know, his butt. So I was like, oh no. Oh God, please don't let this be happening again. In my head, right? Um, Dad was like, so I'm taking him to the vet, and, um, he was like, do you want me to come pick you up, or do you want your cousin to take you home? And I was like, no, we're gonna call my cousin D. Do you want me to pick you up, or do you want D to take you home? And I was like, or do you want D to, take you and drop you off at the vet? And I was like, I'd rather D come take me and drop me off. So they'd come to drop me off at the vet, and in my head I was like, this is why I can't have anything nice. This is why I can't have anything in my life anymore. So basically, they had driven me up there. We had waited in the waiting room because they'd already taken Ranger in, and he was in my sister's arms, just laying there cuddling with her, while this black watery stool was dripping, and the doctor had come in and was like, hey, how are you guys doing? Blah blah blah, all this shit, right? Just talking. And he went and he went and took Ranger back into the, main room, and was like, okay, so once he took Ranger in the back room, he came out but didn't have Ranger. And I was like, wait, where the fuck is Ranger? Like, why don't you have him in your arms? That's what I thought, right? But I wanted to hear him out first. And he was like, so unfortunately, he isn't doing the best. He has worms. And he has so many worms, like that baby is eat up with worms. And, his body temperature is low, which is really, really dangerous for a puppy. And because he has all these worms in his stomach, it's been filling up his stomach so where he can't really eat, which is causing his blood sugar to get low. So we're going to keep him at the hospital for a few days. We're going to keep him in a heated cage. We're going to get my German Shepherd over here, and we're going to give him some blood. So basically they were going to do a blood transfusion on him. And, they said we were going to keep him in a heated cage. So I was like, okay, maybe he'll bounce back better than ever. So the next day, I was worried as shit. And usually when I get worried, some of you might know this, but usually when I get worried, I chew on my fingernails a lot. Yeah, I end up chewing on my fingernails a shit ton, which is really bad for me. So by the next day, my fingernails were completely chewed off. Like, I completely chewed all my fingernails, and I was like, hey, maybe today I can bring my I can take my cowboy hat to school, because I was like, hey, Ranger's gonna be fine, you know? Ranger's gonna be completely okay. So I take my cowboy hat to school that day, still trying to keep a straight face, be happy, whatever, right? So I'd taken my cowboy hat to school, and about halfway through the day, Dad started FaceTiming my cousin. And I was like, oh God, what's happening now? And he goes, so the vet called, and it's not good. He said that Ranger had passed away that morning, and he was doing good for the first 6 hours, and then things just went downhill, and he'd passed away that morning. I had just, I was done. I did not want to do anything anymore. I was ready to absolutely shut down. Like, I didn't want to be there anymore. Like, I was ready to shut down. Um, anyway, I gotta speed up this story because I'm running out of time. So basically, that day I had went home. I'd had my cousin take me home, right? I had D take me home. Because Dad was going to pick up Ranger, and I was like, can I not go with you to pick him up, because that's just gonna ruin me, and that's just too much for me to handle right now. And he goes, absolutely. So I had D take me home. And I had lost 3 dogs in under 2 weeks. So that's the story of why I haven't been posting much. But last weekend I had got a new dog. I know, how stupid of me, right? To get a new dog right after the other one passed. But I was like, hey, another dog can't die again, right? So I got a new puppy. He is a 4-month-old toy poodle, and his name is Biscuit. Dad named him Biscuit, and he's the cutest little dog you'll ever see. One of the cutest dogs you'll ever see. Hopefully I already have a picture of him popped up on there. But he is one of the cutest little puppies you'll ever see. He is a 4-month-old toy poodle. He is just a little bundle of joy, and he's been doing good so far. He's been doing amazing. He's a little bitch, though, I'll tell you that much. He's an asshole. Like, he will, like, chew on everything you own, okay? if he, like, I put him on my bed, he started chewing on my blanket, right? And then when he wasn't chewing on my blanket, he was chewing on my shirt. When he wasn't chewing on my shirt, he was chewing on my laptop. When he wasn't chewing on my laptop, he was chewing on my controller. And I was like, yo, can you just, like, quit? So I literally had to hold him up. But yeah, the kid's a chewer. All he does is chew on stuff. And he's so little for 4 months, you know? But, yeah, we got a new dog. That's basically the long version of why I haven't been posting. It's because I've had 3 dogs die in under 2 weeks. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna get out of here and stop wasting your time. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Sorry this video was so long. I didn't mean for it to be this long. I just had to give you guys all the details, all the information, stuff like that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.